You know when you know something and it's just out of grasp, a name at the tip of your tongue, an idea that you can't quite draw out or verbalize. That's me a lot of the time. I have a habit of compartmentalization where I take different facts and ideas and events and they go into these little boxes and then they get thrown up here with all the cobwebs. And maybe it's not that organized, but they're there. That happened with AI. And then I had the Eureka moment. And I hope more of you get to that point because I think a lot of you are seeing and hearing about AI. Some of you are rolling your eyes. But the fact of the matter is, the technology is here. The cat's out of the bag. The rabbit's out of the hat. We aren't putting the toothpaste back in the tube. You're going to start using this technology. You probably already are. But are you building with it? Are you progressing with it? I wasn't until, aha, and here's how it went. I've always been a systems guy. I get systems. That's kind of my thing, right? 4 years ago, was it? ChatGPT came out and I looked at it and I typed a few things and okay, I don't see how this is useful to me yet. I can see it's going to be. I at least had that foresight, but it's not there now. Right now, it's a shiny toy. I shelved that. 6 months later, came back, looked again, and it was like every 6 months, like clockwork. Until about Q3 last year, I had reconnected with my old mentor. My old mentor was very smart, is very smart, knows how to pull things out of me, knows how to push me. And one of the first things he said when we reconnected was, "Have you tried this vibe coding yet? I think you would be really good at it. You would excel at it." Now, he knows me, he knows how I work. He's got background in education and neuroscience. One of the tricks he used was he said, "Hey, I'll explain it more to you later." And then he dodged my calls and messages for like 2 days because he knew what he was doing. I was going to get curious and start looking into it on my own. And then I started learning. I started learning more. I worked with him and some other people on different projects. I started learning how to vibe code. I started learning how to leverage the systems, test the systems, push the systems. And yeah, 2, 3, 4 years ago, they weren't there for me. 6 months ago, they were. And the amount of progress I've seen since then. Nonetheless, I had learned now bits and pieces, and I could do certain things, but I needed kind of direction or hints. I didn't really fully grasp how I was going to use this new technology. Then, one day out of the blue, old friend and colleague, Kathy, you know who you are, calls me up, says, "What are you doing? Get in front of a computer right now. We need to meet on Zoom." She was super stoked to show me something she had built. She didn't explain it. She just started sharing her screen, and we were looking at the front end of it, not the back end. But before she could explain it, I was explaining to her what I saw and what it was doing. It was a planner of sorts. It was a personal assistant. It was helping her manage her projects and her tasks throughout the day, mostly for work, but not all. I took that and I ran with it. And I'll forever be thankful for Kathy for giving me that eureka moment. Because less than 24 hours later, I went into Claude. I had built my own productivity partner. I built it to align with me specifically. It took things into account like neurodivergence and bipolar disorder and executive dysfunction and all this stuff. It took what I told it. It did some additional research. It took how I work, how I speak, how I talk. It just kind of worked everything into it. And so now I have a productivity partner. It does things like remind me when to do things, help me balance my day, remind me to quit working at a certain time. It reminds me to get up, stretch, and drink water throughout the day because a lot of you I know are like me and we don't think about that. But it took that eureka, it took that aha moment for everything in all those boxes to come together and show me what I could do. And since then, I've built so much and I've automated so much. And tasks that I would avoid doing forever, I now can do in minutes. Things that were very painful for me no longer are. They're now exciting because I work with Claude to figure it out and make it easier. And then I make sure that I set it up so that it can be done again and again, just in case that unique situation comes up again. Or in some cases, it's not a unique situation. It's just an annoying task I have to do every day or every week. Ah, that's all right. I've got a skill for that or something. I know a lot of you are still new to it. Most of us are. You've seen the chart where it's like Something like 1/2 of 1% of people are using huge amounts of tokens. They're at the upper levels of uh, development work. They're working for major corporations. And even amongst that, people like myself, I fall into what is it, something like 5 or 8% of people. And overall, only 16% are using AI programs right now. That number is going to change. You're using AI today, whether you know it or not. The question is, are you just benefiting from it or are you building with it? And if you need help along that journey, follow me, follow some of the people I follow. We're going to get through this together. We're going to end up ahead rather than behind. Things are moving quickly, and we're going to have to move with them. Until I see you again, remember to be well, be safe, and be awesome, both to yourself and one another.